God is going to always make a way. He's going to make a way in a way that is going to be so powerful, so unbelievable, because He is that powerful. Okay, I was reading Joshua chapter 4, and when you look at verses 22 through 24, it talks about how God dried up the Jordan River, He dried up the Red Sea to literally make a path for the Israelites to cross over to get to the promised land. When you take a look at verse 24, it says that He did this so all the nations of the earth might know that His hand is so powerful. When we go through different things in life and we're constantly trying to figure out how is God going to make a way when I don't see a way. Because see, here's the thing, when we are dreaming big and we have all these different visions, if you're going through different health issues, family, friends, relationships, whatever it might be in your life, we get so caught up and focused on the now. We will allow the now and the past to keep us from seeing what's ahead. It keeps us from being able to see the path that God is literally going to make for us. And see, here's the thing too that we don't talk enough about, but your obedience while being patient and waiting for God to make this way for you is going to be so important, okay? Because here's the thing. A lot of times we expect for God to do for us and, think that we can just kind of live and do whatever we want to do. Now, this is the part too that's so beautiful about God. And I say this all the time. I'm like, God, how is it that you still choose me knowing what I've done? Okay, I could have did something stupid yesterday and here you are still waking me up. I'm in front of this phone right now making this video, preaching and teaching to others. You see, the beauty about God is His grace. It's His mercy. It's His heart. It's His kindness. Lately, I've been making a lot of videos about the beauty of His fruitful spirits, okay? And how literally, even when we are out here doing what we ain't got no business doing sometimes, or, we don't always have it right, the fact that God will still make a way for us is something that's so beautiful, okay? And the fact that He's willing to forgive us despite of the things that we have done, okay? Whether knowingly or unknowingly wrong, God will literally still make a way for us. And so this is not since God is so kind, I can still do whatever I want to do and He'll still make a way. It's like, we never really know with God, okay? Yes, we can trust Him to be there for us and have open arms when we really want to get right and do right. But don't use that as an excuse to be disobedient because you just automatically know, oh, God's going to be there. Because let me tell you something too. I was just talking to someone about this today. I'm like, God punishes us, okay? He disciplines us. So you might be out here with the big head thing and like, oh, I can do wrong. I can kind of do whatever I want to do. God's still going to make this way for me. Baby, He's going to discipline your behind. And then you're going to be mad and upset because you're going to be like, dang, like, why did I do that? Why is God allowing this to happen to me? But it's like, you can't forget to be obedient. Am I saying you're going to be perfect and you're always going to have it right? No. But I learned these wise words from my granddad one time. He said that God's never going to continue to let you do wrong when you want to do right. Okay. And so with whatever it is where you are right now in your life and you're really looking for God to make this way for you and open up doors for you, He will do it. Okay. He would do it. I have so many testimonies where I really had to have full on faith. Okay. I had to really go into my faith mode and really trust and believe that God was going to show out for me. Years ago, I took a leap of faith to quit my job. I had no backup plan. And y'all know how the old baby boomers be trying to tell us, like, don't you quit that job with no backup plan. But baby, let me tell you something about my God. Let me tell y'all something about my level of faith. I remember in that moment, I remember this one day I was in my room and I was crying out to God. And I was like, God, I said, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm like, look, I have no backup plan. I just quit my job that I literally just did not like, y'all. Like, I hated it. And hate is a strong word. Like, I just did not like it. I was grateful for it, but I was like, it's time to go because I know there's better for me. I remember being in my room one day. I was crying on my hands and knees and I was like, God, I was like, it's been 3 weeks and I was literally like, I need you to come through for me with, a financial resource because I'm like, I have bills to pay. I kid y'all not. I remember applying to this job and I honestly have forgot that I had applied to it, right? And the manager who I would have ended up reporting to, called me one day, and she's like, "Hi, I saw you apply to this position. I think that you're great." She's asking me like, the compensation I'm looking for, like all of that, like first call, y'all. It wasn't even really like an interview. And at first, when I told her how much I wanted to make, they were like, "Well, we're not even really offering that for this job, but I'll keep you posted on what we decide." So I get off the phone. I'm like, they're probably not even going to hire me. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Again, I'm thinking there's no way because that's just how my mind is in the moment. But you know what? I was like, I trust you, Lord. And I said, look, if it's for me, it'll be for me, and you'll pull through, and, you'll always make a way. Why did I get a text message from her literally the following day within 24 hours? And she was like, "You know what? We'll give you what you asked for. We believe in you. We want to hire you. Let's do it." And it was that quick. Y'all know how most of the time, like with job interviews and stuff, it'd be like this long, drawn out process. And I know more than anything, because right now, here I am a year without that job. I was laid off in January, but say all that to say, like with my applying within this year, I'm like, I see how like crazy the job application process and interviewing process can be. But I say all that to say, look how God made a way just like that. Just like that. Okay. And I believe that he put me in this position where it was like, you know what? I see you just took this huge leap of faith and you had no backup plan, but I see your faith. I see your heart. I see that you're still choosing to trust in me, even though anybody who probably, wasn't really used to kind of thinking how I was thinking at the moment, they would have been like, "Girl, you crazy. You ain't got no backup plan. You have bills to pay. You have rent. You have all of these bills, and you just quit your job. Like, you're crazy." But let me tell y'all something. When you really do learn to depend on God, you trust him and you obey him, despite of what the now looks like, baby, you better know that he will always make a way. Just as he did for the Israelites. Here, and honestly, the entire book of Joshua is amazing, but I've been studying it chapter by chapter. And with Joshua chapter 4, I asked God, I said, "God, what do you want me to get from this so that I can learn for myself, but teach, the people as well?" And literally, he said, "I'm going to always make a way." And it's just so beautiful. Like when you just think about how he really does make a way and we don't even deserve it. I say to him all the time, I'm like, "How did you choose me to create this community? Why did you choose me to do it? Because I don't deserve it, never will deserve it." But again, it's because he said so. It's because it's part of his promise for myself, but for his glory. So just be reminded, oh baby, God will always make a way.